This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
To get in for some high school football with Nate Olson from Scorebook Live. You'll also hear Nate later on tonight on the high school football scoreboard show with Rex Nelson. Nate, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy football. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Ready for a trip down to Dallas. Before we get into it a little bit, your Cubs going to sneak into the postseason? What's going on here?
Oh, I don't know. This is what I know. I predicted them to be about 4 games over 500. That's right where about they are. I told you a few weeks ago when you mentioned that they get in, it's gravy. I obviously would like to see them. It's been kind of a choke job here at the end. A couple of these Braves games were kind of tough, but we'll see. I think they can. I don't know what Milwaukee's mindset's going to be already in, but I don't know there'll be a lot of Cubs fans there. So we'll see what happens. Either way, it's not going to make or break it for me. I've enjoyed this season, seeing them grow and get better. I think next year will even be better.
All right, well, let's get into the football things here.
Sure.
Got a big one in the 7A West. Winner gets first place. Rogers at Fayetteville. Got a couple of really good quarterbacks in this game. What are you seeing?
It should be a good game. Last year it went down to the wire. Rogers hits one at the horn to beat them. They hadn't beaten them in a long time. So this Rogers team under Chad Harbison, he's really breathed some life into this program, and they are, I think, right now you could say a legitimate threat to win the conference. If you win that conference, you're a legitimate threat to win a state championship. So a lot on the line here. Of course, whoever loses this game, it's not doom and gloom. But if you win this one, then you've got one hurdle kind of cleared. Then you've got to play Bentonville. Fayetteville plays them pretty soon, I believe next week or the week after. So I expect a high-scoring game here. Rogers has a good defense, and Fayetteville has been opportunistic. But I think with both of these teams' quarterbacks, with Drake Lindsey, he's going to Minnesota. Dane Williams is a very good high school quarterback. I think he'll have some offers before it's all said and done. Jason DeLamar, you're going to see him on the baseball field in a couple of years still over at Baum Stadium. He had 5 touchdown catches last week. So those two guys are on the same page. And then you've got Grayson Cash, who's emerged as a receiver for Rogers. He tore an ACL in May, and he's already back. So that's one more weapon they have. They've got a good guy, a running back. Jacob Jenkins is good, too. So this should be a lot of offense, a big crowd, the game of the week in the state as far as I'm concerned.
So it's a game of the week, the game of the state. It also means the winner gets first place. Do you view that it's not a championship game for the 7A West, but are these two teams far and away the best in the West, or are there other programs that can compete with them this year?
Well, Bentonville's in that mix too. And I would say coming into the year, as it is so many years still, Bentonville and Fayetteville are at the top. Bentonville is still, you've got to consider it to run through there. They're defending state champions. They've got several guys back. They've got C.J. Brown, who is an Arkansas commit. You can read a story about him on our website this week. And they've got Southside, who is a good team. Amari Tucker, running back. Tim Dameron's breathed some life into them. They barely lost to Rogers last week. So there is a lot more competition, I think, in this league. Also, Bentonville West is in there. So the heavyweights of the league are going to have to, I think they're going to get tested a little bit more. Bentonville could get tested tonight, and then you'll got the really prime matchup with Fayetteville and Rogers. The winner of that one will try to take down Bentonville to really get a leg up. But this may not decide the conference championship, but it's going to go a long ways to whoever wins this one is going to be in a good situation with Bentonville waiting to play both of them as well.
Well, yeah, what position does C.J. Brown play? And then with Drake Lindsey going to a Minnesota commit, is there any chance that Arkansas gets into the race, or why hasn't Arkansas offered him?
C.J. Brown's a receiver, and he's a very electric one. He lit up Broken Arrow with three touchdowns in that game, I believe. And had a kickoff return against Conway. He's a 3-star, but I mean, I think he could be even better than that. A guy that played running back as a 7th grader and then was behind Josh Ficklin, who is at Illinois State. He switched to receiver, which was a good move. First in the slot and outside. He's been very, very good, and he's got a quarterback, Nye, who is really good, a really good high school player, and a good baseball player. And they've kind of created a really good combination there, and know each other well. So that when you play them, you better know where they are. Carter Nye, quarterback. Brown, Nye is elusive in the pocket. He's got a good arm, so that really helps them, and their offensive line has developed well after losing Joey Sua, who's at Arkansas. Lindsey, I wish I had a good answer for you on that. The lineage that he has at Arkansas and everything with his family, I'm not really sure. I think he's maybe a guy that kind of was a late bloomer, and somebody was asking me yesterday, like, how does Minnesota get on a guy from Arkansas? But, I mean, that's kind of an easy answer because now with the internet and the camps, and, I mean, everybody's fair game. You've got guys coast to coast going to different schools, and I don't think there's anybody on the Minnesota staff that has Arkansas connections, but it could be. I know that's how UNLV is recruiting a lot of Arkansas guys because they've got such a connection with the state there. But I think that Arkansas. I mean, if they were to offer him, I don't know what he would do. But I think, is he good enough to play in the SEC? I think he is. I mean, he's put up some great numbers. Looks like he's improved quite a bit from one year to the other. So I think Minnesota's getting a steal. He ends up going to play for P.J. Fleck. I think he could be, an all Big Ten type of quarterback there, and be a multiple-year starter. So, I'm not sure how much interest Arkansas showed, if any, but, they may miss out, but they got a lot of good quarterbacks coming in, too. Grayson Wilson at CAC is a junior coming in. There's a lot of, as you know, Matt, being a college quarterback, there's a lot of things that weigh into that, and coaches, what they're looking at and who they have and all that stuff. But it's an astute point to ask, since he is, a couple feet from the campus and has that lineage, why that might not have happened.
Yeah, and his grandpa Jim that played for the Minnesota Vikings, played up there for years.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Want to ask about?
He is a very good quarterback.
I want to ask about what happened last week with Little Rock Christian taking Pulaski Academy to the woodshed. It's 3 weeks in a row that the Warriors have done this. Does Mountain Home stand a chance next week?
Well, yeah, Mountain Home is we talked about them. They're improved. They can hang with some teams, and they've had some near misses. They play at PA this week, and I talked to a PA coach on Sunday, and they said, they're going to come in here ready to beat us. I mean, they smell a little blood in the water, and if we don't turn things around and turn the page, they could get us. So they've trailed at halftime 3 different times. So you've got PA this week that is, on paper, possibly a winnable game. Now, PA is PA, and after losing like that, I expect, Anthony Lucas really put them through the paces. But both of those games are uphill climbs for Mountain Home, but they have done a good job in the quarterfinals, getting to the quarterfinals every year under Steve Airy. They play, the other competition in 6A and match up better. This league is so tough. So that's the thing that goes against them, is that it's very difficult with the stack with Greenwood, and they've already played them and lost PA and Little Rock Christian. So they tried to be there in the middle of the pack. I think they can, but the loss to Lake Hamilton didn't help, and that was like in the last second. So a good team that is in a really tough division, or conference, but they've done a good job there. PA Little Rock Christian last week, just to fill you in a little bit, I was at the first half of that game, and PA, I've never seen them. They got beat 63-0 to Springdale in 2003 under Gus Malzahn. It was a Hooten's Labor Day game where they played like 4 games in a day at War Memorial Stadium, and I remember that. And then 2 years later, they lost to Warren, it was like 43-0. So those are the 2 worst losses to an in-state opponent But otherwise, I've never seen a PA team look that, lackluster. And then on the other end of it, Little Rock Christian was just dynamite. Walker White, he looked like a 4-star quarterback, running, jumping over people. He and his receivers were on target. The receivers are making big plays. I mean, they rose to the occasion, and PA went the other way. But, you think about the season opener, Shiloh Christian went down there and smacked Little Rock Christian in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of shocking how that happened, especially after, earlier in the year they lose. But that game's emotional. Little Rock Christian was ready. They play again. It could be a different outcome, but PA nursing a lot of injuries. That's the other thing that Mountain Home has kind of on its side is that, their best receiver's not playing, their running back transferred. But we'll see how that plays out tonight. If Mountain Home can come down there, I mean, like I said, PA has trailed a couple different occasions at halftime. That's uncharacteristic of them. They trailed Russellville, trailed an academy out of Mississippi. So the door could be open. They need to try to kick it in tonight.
Got a game down in my area with Farmington at Alma. What's your thoughts on that one?
I was hoping you'd mention this because there's a quarterback there by the name of Daly. You probably remember that name.
Oh,
Adam Daly?
Yeah, that lineage. Yeah, dude, Adam Daly was a stud.
Yeah, and his son's the quarterback, and Clark Bohr is his brother, or his uncle.
Another stud.
So, another guy well. So that, last week you asked me what game was my favorite or which one you should go to. You've asked that too. That's the one you should go to. And you can see your teammates and former teammate guys, Hogs, and see him play. He's a very good high school quarterback. I think he can play multiple positions, but they've got him playing quarterback. They need him there. Farmington kind of shocked some people by beating Harrison with a backup quarterback. Their quarterback, Van Zant, has been really good player, has been hurt, and so they're going with the backup. But they were able to win that game 43-40. I expect another big-time scoring matchup. This is a good opportunity for Alma to beat a pretty good team, at home. And that 5A West is really competitive. It could be competitive. Shiloh's sitting at the top, but now you've got P. Ridge, who is undefeated, with Bray Cook from the University of Arkansas, lineman, played under Pittman with his offensive line coach. They're doing better. And you've got Prairie Grove in there that's always pretty good with Danny Absher. So the league is kind of, maybe taking a step up. So this is a good opportunity for Alma to maybe assert themselves and kind of stick their nose in that upper echelon. Whoever wins this game is going to have a little bit of a leg up on that maybe third playoff spot or something like that.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.